Hello and welcome back to another Cat on Crypto video. I hope you guys are doing well. Today we are back with another bank or PulseChain video, giving you guys the latest and greatest of PulseChain news. And there's been a lot that's been happening in the past few days. We're going to catch you guys up on all of that. So again, if you want to stay up to date, give this channel a subscribe. Thank you very much for tuning in, and thank you to all the YouTube members who are choosing to support my small channel. They have access to my members exclusive videos, and as well, okay, be sure to join my Telegram link in the description. It is free, the farmers community. Ladies and gentlemen, we keep stuff up to date, which we're going to cover breaking news that literally just happened a few minutes ago that we're going to cover in this video as well. So if you want to stay up to date in a higher frequency, and if you want to ask me directly, you can join that group chat in the description below. Be part of the conversation, especially at these times. And fortunately, guys, right now, and actually you can see it as a fortunate thing, because it depends on how you look at things. Sometimes it's a glass half empty, glass half full kind of mindset that you need to have, and that's that we are undoubtedly, okay, in the highest peak depression right now. Now, what does that mean? That actually means there's a lot of buying opportunities. Most of the things that you see in front of you here in PulseChain is cheap, okay? And I kept it very simple with you guys. This is what I believe in: the core 7, PulseX. And I don't really have Pulse. I just choose to double down on PulseX for a lot of reasons. I can make a whole video update on that, etc. PulseX, Hex, eHex, okay, eHex. Even though Richard Hart did do the FUD tweet, which is last year around this time, actually, which we're going to talk about, because it can be compared to what we're seeing with Pedi. And also, Richard Hart also did a FUD tweet about PWBTC. For the people that didn't know, he made a Christmas video in 2023. He talked about how PWBTC had admin keys, and he didn't like that. He literally said, I don't like that. And it did crash the PWBTC price. But if you look at the long term, what happened since then, it literally did a 13x against wrapped Pulse, against Pulse, which is then the main anchor of all of PulseChain. So there's kind of a, and this is what people, they attach the term, I forgot what it's called, the risk diode, I believe. And yeah, this is the risk diode. Big shout out to Matty for sharing this video. So let's see what Richard Hart, who came up with this term, what does he mean by it?
The time, if you're not really artful with it, you'll advertise a scam by saying what not to do. They'll type the website and they'll go get scammed by the website, which is why I invented something called the risk diode, where if you're already being scammed, I give you enough info to know that you're being scammed, but I don't introduce new people to the scam by mentioning it by name and giving you a URL to go get scammed by. These are tactics that I've learned over.
So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That is very, very interesting. I mean, listen, at this point, it literally can be 50-50. But what I'm trying to say, based on that definition, which, by the way, Richard Hart has been going on basically for a year and a half, not ever mentioning Pedi, always mentioning the chart that did 10,000x, always mentioning, okay, screenshot of the PRC20s. And obviously, recently, when he started talking about, hey, I'm not a founder, don't label me to be a founder of something, to now saying, oh, sell Pedi question mark, to now saying, oh, mentioning Pedi literally 20 times in tweets. So that's kind of against the whole thing where he talks about the risk diode. He doesn't want to mention the actual token so that people will then end up going to it. So I really want to hear you guys' thoughts on this, like what's been happening. So speaking of that, we're going to continue going on with the latest Richard Hart tweets, which, by the way, there's been a lot. We're going to go quickly through this picture here that he posted about the extractor. So if you guys didn't know, there's a 5996 right now. It's kind of the main wallet that has been, again, minting. So yes, it is a minting, but it comes from the already accounted Pedi, which is from the VAT contract, by effectively playing by the rules. So there's no actual exploit. It would have been replicated in the Ethereum counterpart, which is right now DAI, which is currently a working stable coin, withstood the test of time. DAI is at $1. It's pretty good. It's actually labeled by Richard Hart a state-of-the-art algorithmic stablecoin. But yeah, as you guys can see, he made this meme off of the extractor, and then let's see what it says here. Reads code, doesn't use GUI, pays big gas, fills full blocks, taunts in Explorer chat, bridges out, dumps on you. I'm extracting. Okay, now what's crazy, and again, this is just conspiracy really, and I want to just share it with you guys because I really just want to hear you guys' thoughts. Okay, now if you actually click on the image, you look at the bottom right, there's a little word there that says Richard Hart. Okay, I mean, we'll see how it goes. I mean, hey, listen, at the same time, when you see the other tweets where it's him being very direct, that's the thing. That's the only thing that's kind of keeping me on the fence. Okay, if you're asking me, Khaled, what's your latest view on it? Listen, I'm not going to sell. I'm never going to be shaken out of my PWT and PDAI. Okay, it's the top two PRC 20s. The narrative was absolutely amazing. I feel like it's one of the most exciting narratives, easily able to become the unicorn of this bull run, right? DeFi season has not started. DeFi 3.0. We've seen DeFi 2.0 in the last cycle, which was what? It was actually Hex. It was actually, you know, the node project, the ROI project, dApps. And a few other stuff as well, but Hex was one of the biggest winners, did it 10,000x, right? And then DeFi 1.0, which was back in 2016, it was actually Uniswap. Uniswap literally revolutionized the whole industry by introducing these AMMs, the constant product formula of X times Y is equal to K. And here we are today with PulseX being a fork of Uniswap, and in my opinion, a better Uniswap because the fact that it's actually deflationary. But again, that's for another video. But yeah, that is crazy. The fact that, you know, he puts his name in there in the bottom right in a very lower case. And there's another one here that I did see Somi figure out, which, you know, it's pretty interesting how there's a, you know, a small p right here, capital D, capital A, capital I, that spells PDAI. But okay, that's obviously a stretch. But going back to the other one here, which is quite interesting. Okay, he does a few things here. This is a thread that he continues talking about the whole, you know, exploit and whatever is happening, right? He does mention PDAI multiple times, which again goes against the risk diode thing that he talks about. And he also did talk about Atropa. Now, there is an incorrect thing that a lot of people have that I'm going to literally debunk in this video. Now, unfortunately, it will come with some bad news because as we are speaking right now, Tropa, ladies and gentlemen, is actually minting treasury bill, and he is selling teddy bear. And I believe also selling Atropa, and it is creating basically lower lows with a teddy bear and Atropa. And you know, I can't really comment on what is he plotting. Is he actually part of the team that's behind, you know, trying to fix the P maker system, you know, either with the oracles, again, and us closer to the flop auctions, which I'm going to talk about that in a second. I really cannot comment on that, guys. At the end of the day, we will never have all the answers. Okay, by the time you want to wait until you get all the answers, it will literally be either a successful story that is a pegged PDAI at $1, or it'll be zero. Okay, now what I do is I ask myself, hold on, if this was truly an exploit, which was an example of it would be PLUSD, why are we not at zero? Why is that number, you know, still holding up quite well? And there is some theories saying that the exploiter, who is of course, you know, setting the PDAI, putting that PDAI back into the pools, bridging out, is actually utilizing a mixer and then coming back in again in a different wallet so that there's no traceability, and then buying back that PDAI. And we're going to talk about who came up with that what you call it, with that rumor theory, which honestly, it is plausible. Okay, almost everything is plausible at this point. So I just want to give you guys, you know, just thoughts, and it's really great to just throw these out because this is one thing that I really like about PulseChain. Okay, we sacrifice for freedom of speech, we sacrifice for freedom of movement, and I would just give a reminder for people: I will never FUD whatever project that you're in just because I'm not in it. Okay, I hate the people that are out there trying to find a scapegoat to why PulseChain, the core tokens, are in all-time lows. Okay, if it wasn't for PDAI, it would literally be something else. And there are other factors. There's literally whales, and we already know this, that the cores unfortunately have this, they're notorious with these whales that are, you know, kind of like you know, unhappy, really, guys. You know, they capitulate at the lows, which is the worst type of whale that you want to have. So this is what I'm telling you. When you think about PDAI, you cannot give it the full blame of what's going on. Also look at Ethereum, guys. You have to, if you're ever in debt, you have to zoom out. Ethereum is still at that 2000. ETH BTC is absolutely crushed. So of course, likewise will be the same thing with every other altcoin, which PulseChain is under that category. So again, we need Ethereum to start moving up, and then we can start expecting these numbers to go up again. Okay, so keep that in mind. I think we're doing we're doing okay. Okay, it is at the same time peak depression here in PulseChain because unfortunately, you know, we've also had this piece of news, which is not great at all. Rabby wallet ends PulseChain integration. So if you are using a Rabby, and I've been literally almost every person that I've onboarded recently, I've been recommending them to get Rabby because it's better than MetaMask. It's like a 10x experience. It has PulseChain supports, like you can see it automatically adds them in your portfolio, and now they're ending supports. Now what does that mean? You'll just have to manually add the RPC URL, and I think manually add the tokens from there. Now I believe Rabby is also owned by the same also owns DeBank, or by the same company that owns DeBank. I'm not sure if that also means that DeBank is not going to support PulseChain. I really hope not, because that's actually going to be crazy. But we will see. What's the reason behind this? I don't really know. There's no way how, maybe is it the FUD that's going on right now with the chain reached all the way to the Rabby company, and they're like, okay, hold on, this is not great. At the same time, I really don't think this is justifiable, because we're still, guys, we're like top 5 chains out of all chains. When you consider the fact that PulseChain basically has like 250,000 users, by ratio, we're actually doing quite well, guys. Okay, I mean, look at Cardano's market cap compared to its volume. Look at XRP's market cap compared to its volume, and look at that ratio compared to our ratio. We are literally one of the strongest communities, guys. The only issue that we have is, number one, the tribalism. People, for example, they like to stick to one thing and go all in one thing and then become a maxi. I really don't like that. I love both EHEX and PHEX. Okay, what's crazy is that a lot of people, it's literally the same thing when Richard Hart, made tweet after tweet talking about how, Ethereum happened and people moved on from Ethereum Classic. Bitcoin happened and people moved on from Bitcoin Cash. Oh, and then he mentions Hex happened and people moved on. And I think it was basically, that's what he meant. What he implies is that people moved on from the EHEX. Okay, it literally, he killed, guys. It's so obvious that he killed. And he said the market has chosen. Like a lot of, and it did literally break the price of EHEX down. But guess what it did? If you look at the chart, it did a 10x from that midterm. But let me tell you guys, will history repeat itself? We will see. All I'm trying to say is that right now we are at peak depression, which in a way is good, because that means that it's the rate of depreciation in the prices right now is kind of, we're bottoming. I am expecting as well to see a reversal on Bitcoin. Bitcoin is actually doing pretty well. You can see here the M2 supply, we're catching up to it. So it's roughly at the 11th of March. I know I said 29th, but it does seem that it might be, slightly from the 29th to 11th, we can see the M2, the Bitcoin catching up to the M2, which is at a 75-day delay. And at the same time, we're also doing well on the 200, the 50 weekly. If I change this to be 1 week, let me just do that. The candle to 1 week. We're doing quite well. We're still bouncing off that 50 weekly moving average, way above the 200 moving average. 200, you usually use that to kind of identify once we have bottomed in a bear market. So I'm not really looking at the 200 MA at all. We already know that we are in a bull run in that, a 1 out of 4 year cycle, post Bitcoin as well happening, which I believe is going to be sometime in April, which is going to be very interesting, right? It's going to be actually 365 days since the Bitcoin halving. Very, very excited to see what's going to happen with altcoins, because guys, believe it or not, we have yet to have that first altcoin peak. Okay, there's still going to be a peak 2 that I've been talking about. People who have been watching my channels, they know about this. So please stay optimistic. I know PulseChain is very, very sad. Portfolios are down, and my portfolio is down as well. Like, at the same time, guys, the best thing to do is literally to do nothing. Do not realize your losses. Do not try to sell your main bags to jump into another. You're going to realize a loss or potentially reset that risk variable. Okay, don't lose faith in the main narratives. Now I understand PDAI is definitely high risk now. I used to call it a lower risk narrative because it was a main narrative, but now in my opinion it is in the high risk, because what we're seeing right now, it literally is Richard Hart saying, oh, extractor, oh, minter. But what makes me on the fence on that is a few things here and there, okay, that we're going to go through. First of all, and I'm gonna take you guys from the start. I'm just gonna summarize it. Okay, we're gonna get to that message in a second, but if you scroll down, Okay, he talks about how, oh, look at this. Who warns you about admin keys? Talks about who warns you about admin keys, and he's basically implying, because that's what he's been talking about, Pedi. But what's crazy to me is that we all know, guys, Richard Hart is a very smart person. He spoke a lot about stablecoins and how he disliked specifically USDT made by Tether, USDC made by Circle. Why? Because they're partially backed. Number two, they need a bank. So not really that centralized. Number three is that they have admin keys, they have blacklist functions, they have freeze functions. And this is also why he liked Pedi even more. The fact that it's algorithmically backed. That's number one. Number two, that it's a DAO, decentralized autonomous organization. There is no admin keys. The admin keys is literally the maker token. That is it. Like if you have majority, which is 51%, you basically have control of the whole system, which is supposed to be decentralized. So this is the clip, right? So you have one side of Richard, which is this guy, okay, who's saying admin keys, please be careful, counterparty risk. And then there's a clip of Richard Hart talking about this, which we're going to check it out. Let me know what you think.
But there's certain innovations which solve even the volatility component. So now that stablecoins exist, you get the instant, irreversible settlement. But most stablecoins actually have counterparty risk. Like they can invalidate your coins at will. So the stablecoin company can just turn your coins off. And be like, yeah, they don't work anymore. Some stablecoins don't have that. Like DAI doesn't have that, but USDC and USDT do have that. So you have to be careful.
So there you have it, guys. I mean, when I see this in my head, I'm like, okay, you are being clear by saying, no, this is an exploiter, right? And he calls it, the infinite mint, which first of all, it's not an infinite mint. So it's like, is he purposefully doing this? And it's crazy. I feel like Richard Hart that we're seeing right now is a different Richard Hart that we're seeing in the previous cycle. And a lot of people have been saying Richard Hart right now is speaking through the blockchain. We're going to get to that in a second. What do we mean by that? It gets very exciting. It gets very tinfoily. Okay, so please keep this in mind. This video is it's all about entertainment at this point, guys. I'm not telling you to buy or sell. I never even told you to buy or sell anything. Okay, I'm not even going to tell you to sell, even though right now things are high risk. All I can say is literally what I'm doing. What I'm doing is I've done my DCA from a fresh capital up to what I want to handle with, depending on my own risk tolerance, depending on my research that I've done. Okay. But for me, I am not being shaken out of my bags because, as I said, the next time I will reevaluate my Pedi holding is when I see that flop auction happen. Until then, everything else is noise. Guys, everything else is noise, and it literally feels like it. And what's crazy is that the flop auction, we were so close. We went all the way to 300 million. Okay, it doesn't, there's no timestamp on when it's actually going to start. It literally just depends on the flop auction variable, which we're going to see in a second of summary, what can make the flop auction increase and decrease, because it does fluctuate. Okay, but until then, I'm just going to be patient, because I feel like it literally is everything else right there that I'm looking at is a psyop. Psychological operation. Like it really does feel like this. Okay, and I don't want to miss out on something. I want to delay my gratification. And sometimes when everyone else is acting emotionally, which is by looking at the charts, right? Because I don't care about the price, I just care about the units. Same thing with PWT, same thing with PulseX, same thing with literally everything else, I and C, like hex, ehex. So this is why everyone else is emotionally trading. I'm here just doing nothing. Okay, and now sounds like a simple formula, but doing nothing usually works out. Okay, the longer you hold your bag with less trades, the less chances or the less odds of you making a loss. That's literally statistically proven. Go check it out. But aside from that, let's go and continue with what I'm talking about here. So that's one part where he talks about admin keys. There is a second part here, which we're going to get to this message in a second, because this is actually from the 5996 or one of the daughter wallets. They actually put a message. They appended a message with a transaction. We're going to read that in a second. Okay, and you tell me, does this sound like someone who's in Vietnam? Like what? Do they even have 5G? I'm not really sure. No disrespect, obviously. But what I want to show here is that he finally mentioned, oh my God, Atropa for the first time. Okay, and he goes here, who's the real boss? Well, if you look at the liquidity, lol, it looks like someone can mint Tropa out of thin air. I know nothing about it. They can harvest 2 billion PDAI out of the liquidity. He's talking about the thickest liquidity right now in PulseChain, or in general with PDAI, is the one that's bonded with Atropa and is burnt. So that is confirmed it's burnt. Don't worry about that. But he's talking about how the dev can mint unlimited Tropa. Now, we all know Richard is extremely smart, and I don't understand why he gets this stuff wrong. Like how he says, oh, DAI has admin keys, I warned you about it, you know what I mean? But we've just seen a clip of him knowing that DAI doesn't have that, and now you have him having this information wrong, which is Atropa. He can mint it. Now he might have meant it indirectly, because we're going to get to that in a second, but look at him at the same time. We get another side of Richard, and he goes, why can't it be fixed? And then he actually later on goes in and tags MakerDAO. Okay, it's like, whoa, like, are we going to see a shift to Richard Hart all of a sudden saying, what if PDAI gets fixed? And I think I had a screenshot of that somewhere here. Like, and this is not a real tweet, but look at this. I said, imagine we wake up tomorrow and we see him tweet this. I wonder if PDAI can get fixed. Okay, again, this is just me speculating, literally just for entertainment, but we're going to get to that in a second. What we're going to do, we're going to go back to when he mentioned Atropa. And big, I'm going to mention this tweet as well here. You know, shout out to Habibi as well. He is very smart, but, you know, he literally mentioned, and he gave us basically the hexadecimal for all the functions. Great, but unfortunately, he didn't follow through. Basically, in short, he's saying Atropa is mintable. Now, I'll show you guys exactly how to prove this. Why it's tough for a few people to actually prove this instead of just copying and pasting what the next guy told them. I get it. You know what I mean? It is what it is. But I'm here to show you guys as well. I like to share the knowledge here. So I'll leave all the links in the description. So this is the Atropa. It's an ERC, basically PRC20 contract, which it is not verified. Okay, which the original Tropa dev should have done that to gain confidence, but he's kind of known for not doing so. But you can actually use an ABI application. Binary interface is basically like the front end that defines the outside. It's as if you're looking at a black box. You don't know what's inside, but you know the exterior interface. You know the buttons. You know what the inputs you need, the outputs you're gonna get, etc. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna use this contract. I'm gonna use this website here, which is pretty cool. I'm gonna leave that in the description, where I have a Tropa here. I pasted it in, and at the same time, I'll show you guys here in a second, I pasted a generic ABI of a contract. Okay, where did I get that? I just got that example from literally just another token here, and I copied the contract ABI, which has an owner function, which is this one right here. No, this is the modifier owner function, where it literally just returns who's the owner. So what does that mean? Owner means as in can this person, because usually these functions, they'll have a modifier. You can see that virtual only owner, and you can see that usually the mint function is only callable by an owner. Obviously, you don't want anyone to just mint a token. So what we're going to do, we're going to actually click on the all functions now. Now that I've given it its ABI, we're going to click on the read, and I'm going to click on owner to see what is it going to give us back. And this, ladies and gentlemen, that means that the current owner is a dead address, is a burn address, it's a nil address. This is good. That means Atropa is no longer mintable by the dev. Though, and this is what I mean by it can indirectly be, he can indirectly still reach to more Atropa through other tokens that he has mint authority for. So the other one is Treasure Bill, and we can confirm this by basically doing the same thing, passing the same ABI, clicking on owner, and you can see it gives us this wallet, which we're going to check in a second, the 501, which is the one that's currently right now as we're speaking, unfortunately guys, is selling PDAI, selling Teddy Bear, like selling Atropa, and like literally everything, like selling everything. And I don't know what's gotten to the Atropa dev, guys. I don't know if this, is the Atropa dev part of Rich Hearts? Like, are they speaking? No, I don't even know, guys. Literally at this point, The only thing I can do is not capitulate. The only thing I can do is not realize any losses and just let it play out. Let it play out, because this is, of course, very, very high FUD moments. A lot of people are going to capitulate, so don't be one of them, because either way, these prices are at a low. Okay, you can't blame PulseChain for being where we are. Look at the rest of the crypto market. So you might as well just literally hold it out and then see how it goes. Because for me, the way the story goes with Pedi is literally going to be either at a $1 successful story or not. There's going to be no in betweens. Okay, so this is what I'm basically here sitting to find out. I believe in PulseChain, and I feel like this is one of its main narratives, which a lot, I really do believe that Richard Hart talked about this a lot. One of the PulseChain goals. Look at this: enrich the ERC20 and NFT users. The launch of PulseChain is the largest airdrop in history. Thousands of Ethereum-based tokens and NFTs receive their free PulseChain versions. The new Gold Rush contains the value discovery of thousands of tokens and NFTs on PulseChain. If you always wanted to be a whale in a certain ERC or NFT, maybe now you can. Guys, this is one of the main unique selling points of PulseChain. If Pedi fails, guys, quite literally, the whole narrative or the whole ecosystem of PRC20s, they all fail. And at that point, what is really different about PulseChain being a layer 1 fork of Ethereum compared to all the other dozens out there, like BNB and whatever? Jimmy, and so, and I think Avalanche is also another example. This is why I'm like, okay, I'm on the fence. Don't get me wrong, I'm on the fence, but I still believe in Pedi. I'm not gonna put any more DCAing or any more risk capital. I've already done so. I'm actually quite happy with the bag that I have. My risk to reward ratio is properly set, so I'm very happy. I can sleep at night. I don't need to watch the chart every single day. But there's been a lot of news from Richard Hart, from the minter, and it's crazy. It's been crazy, guys. Wow, what a time. We are literally in the history in the making right now with PulseChain. And wow, it's actually been successfully bringing eyes over, but maybe not the right type of impression, because unfortunately we're seeing kind of like a not a civil war, or maybe actually a lot of people just being very not pleasant towards the Pedi believers. Okay, it's like, okay, we're not going to give financial advice, but we're going to tell and urge everyone to sell their Pedi. Like, what? Since when are we telling people to sell Pedi? Since when are we telling, sell Pedi, buy most instead, buy pump instead? Do you mean, what? There's a token called Pedi. I'm not throwing shade at the creators who made it, but it's like, come on now, what's going on? Look at the chart of Pedi as well. It literally is dead. Okay, so this is why, at the same time, with the Richard, the pump tire memes, it's like, it's not really, I don't see longevity in that. I don't feel like that's a real meme. It just feels like very artificial, as Somi likes to call it, JPEG. There's no actual utility behind it. Not in terms of utility, but for example, tokenomics, PTGC, nothing comes close to that now. Literally nothing. Atropa, it was a beautiful example about Hart's law, but at this point, of course, it is extremely high risk to be in Atropa. Don't get me wrong. I still hold every Atropa project that I mentioned. I haven't sold any. Actually, I'm quite happy with my positions, but it is, of course, high risk for the new people who are thinking about buying up the cheap tokens. I have to tell you guys, it is a high risk. So you have to do your own research and due diligence, please, please, please. And so, as you guys can see, Tropa is, there is no mint. He can't mint it, but through Treasury, yes, he can mint Treasury Unlimited, which he has actually done that in the past half an hour, and he's been selling because Treasury is heavily bonded with Teddy Bear. But now, if you're asking me if he wants to get to that Pedi through a Tropa, how much can he sell from Treasury Bill? So if you put a crazy number just to max it out, you can see that it'll be around 500,000 a Tropa, which I believe is only 3K. Is that 3K? Let's quickly double check here. We're going to put that right there. Yeah, that's roughly 2.6K. And if we go back and let's say he's using the Treasury Bill to sell Bear, to go to Bear, right now, wow. There's going to be around 62K K from that he can max extract. So yeah, even though he has unlimited treasury bill mint, he can only sell as much as 62 K from Teddy Bear. So yeah, it is what it is. We'll see how it goes. I don't know what is he doing. Does he have a plan? Because I think right now, actually, most of his money is on Ethereum side. You see that it's holding Ethereum. He has 700,000. We will see what's going to happen. And right now, yeah, he's minted a lot. We're going to quickly refresh to see what's up right now. And if you guys are enjoying this video, giving us the latest updates, let me know. Let me know in the comments below. Wow, he has 28 minutes. Oh, yeah, because he, oh my God, he minted a whole billion worth of treasury bill. Of course, can he sell it? He can't. We just double checked it. I mean, he can sell it, but it will be hit with a thick slippage. And let's see what he has been doing. This is as recent as 38 seconds ago. Yeah, he's selling that teddy bear. Wow, I don't even I don't even want to open the teddy bear chart. Oh my God. Like, come on, bro. What kind of plan do you have? And you can see he's buying treasury bill, teddy bear, and then selling that teddy bear because of liquidity, I think. The liquidity routes. So there is that, guys. It's quite unfortunate to see what we are seeing right now. No, we're never gonna get the answers until we just let time do its thing at this point. But I just also wanted to show, like, down here, first of all, look at how many tweets he's talking about PDAI. Like, it's so crazy. This goes literally against the whole risk diode thing. And then something that also gets to me is when he attached in this tweet, this is one of the first tweets, he goes, something has inflated the PDAI supply by multiples. Free DAI fork. PDAI has 24.5 billion supply now. DAI had 10 billion at the Ethereum fork. Who's minting that supply and why are they? It's rumored dumping it and bridging out, question mark. Okay. Few things here that I want to talk about. If you guys didn't know, in 2023, this was actually one of the first, the first biggest dump of PDAI is when it went from, I don't know, if it went from, as he mentioned here, 10 billion and it went to 24, 23 billion supply. And that's most likely done so by, I don't know, some arbitrage bots. And we are assuming, and I think everyone here is actually within a consensus, we can say that's actually Richard Hart, who owns 12.5 billion of that minted supply, until there was actually a vote to get to disable that mint function where you can make a, I believe, yeah, where anyone can create a vault to then print the PDAI out of it because of the Oracle. The Oracle is not given the correct pulse price. I think right now the Oracle is probably stuck around whatever the price was during the snapshot, which is 10th or 13th of May of 2023, which I think is probably around 1,800 or 2,000. So, that mint function got disabled, which is great. So now the FUD kind of started to, it started to bottom out. Somi was talking about PDAI, a lot of people talking about PDAI, and then that's where I came in, roughly August time as well. And, it's looking great. But what's crazy is that Richard Hart did not tweet about PDAI at that time. You know what I mean? Like, why is he tweeting about it now with basically another, would you say it's an as bad? Maybe it's an as bad exploit, but definitely not worse. Because minting 12.5 or 13 billion is a heck of a lot bigger, in my opinion, exploit, even though what we're seeing right now is not an exploit. Because if you really think about it, guys, it's not that complicated. And I've heard people say, what if it took him 2 years to do this? No, it's not. It doesn't take you 2 years. Okay. But the only weird thing is that when I ask myself, if this is really an exploit, why is it not replicated by anyone else? Okay. Why is this exploiter only doing it now? And he missed the times where we were at 1 cent, 2 cent, 3 cent. He had like 4 or 5 chances when we were at those peaks, but he's doing it now. And why, and we already can establish that he knows English, why is he continuing but not increasing the frequency of minting from the VAT once that he knew that he's being exposed? It's crazy. So this is why I have a lot of mixed opinions about this. But what I wanted to talk about now, there's been a message, okay, from that 5996 or whatever, the daughter wallet, and he appended it to the message here. to the transaction, and let's see what it says. He says, it's funny when people, let me double check my mic is working. Yeah. He goes, it's funny when people say I have unlimited mint rights on DAI. Funny. If so, let me explain how it works. From wallet, send transaction, and he just gives us like the functions. This is to grant CDP, I believe that's collateralized debt position, allow rights to, from contract call A1E6, will call to Clipper address that execute, and then he gives us the function. He goes on, and I'm gonna skip it until here. You think I have take advantage of the error of Oracle price to make profit? Sorry, whether or not the Oracle price is error, I still have profit because the price, because of price decreasing mechanism over time of MakerDAO's Clipper contract. So the price of the Oracle token is right or wrong, it doesn't say. Okay, so fair enough. After calling take function, I will call to liquidate one CDP, then I will mortgage the token I just bought at the auction to mortgage to borrow DAI again. So where is the profit in DAI? With a smiley face, and he says, that's because no one competes in the auction, so I can buy the auction token at the lowest price, lower than the Oracle price, and use it as collateral to borrow DAI again, from there generating profit. So please don't distort the truth like that. Why don't you see my transaction showing DAI? Then I'm using the internal balance of the VAT contract. That's basically what I mentioned at the beginning. There's no such thing as an unlimited mint. There you go. It's very interesting. Okay, and I'm still processing all of this really, and part of me is like, okay, let's say this is not Richard Hart. It really comes down to, is this a malevolent or a benevolent behavior? Okay, like people who are actually working in the background here, which it literally could be a team, it could be multiple people, trying to fix PDAI. This is what I'm telling you, like, okay, it's going to now literally rely on this exploiter being benevolent, because we're seeing the money being used to get bridged out. What if that money is literally coming through the bridges, coming into back to PulseChain and buying back up the PDAI, which is why we're seeing the chart being very strong. Is it because he wants to kind of distribute or buy back the PDAI and then have a distributed, decentralized kind of like ownership? We're going to get to that in a second, what we mean from a clip here, which is pretty interesting. But I just wanted to give a quick shout out to Coexistence. If you guys missed my stream that I did with him yesterday, it was actually one of the sickest streams that I was in. So yeah, big shout out to him, where the guy, cash flow or cash money, which we're going to see a clip of him in a second, and even Moon King Beers tuned in, and it was crazy. So I just want to show you guys a clip here. Okay, I believe I have the clips somewhere here. Yeah, this one, where he was talking with Moon King Beers. I'm going to show you guys this clip, and let's see what he is referring to, or what is his thoughts. This is a guy who's extremely convicted with PDAI, which is I really like to see. Whatever you do, I like to see people who believe in whatever they hold, because that's what I always advocate for. Even if it's not a project that I believe in those principles. Okay, so let's see what he has to say.
Listen, do you understand when PDAI pegs without any buys or anything, the chain automatically does a 2000x.
Yeah.
Then he deploys that 15 billion. Then his collateral level allows him to mint trillions.
But that doesn't benefit you, Mike.
Hold on, what? You know what's crazy is that it has 369 viewers. Whoa.
You know what RH will say to the Ethereum Foundation? He's gonna go like this. See you later, guys. That's what he's gonna do, bro. He's in it for glory. He's not in it just to do a little.
And what he described there is literally the hyperloop. So the whole 12.513 billion PDAI that Richard Hart has, imagine if PDAI actually goes to $1. That's him with 13.5 billion buying power, right? And imagine the whole point, if you guys have been watching my videos for a long time, you'll understand that part of the plan is actually using the OA bags to collateralize, which by the way doesn't require selling or buying, to collateralize PDAI in a vault. Okay, and then from there, now he's going to have a $1 PDAI. He's going to buy back the exact tokens that are collateralizing the vaults. So, and as he mentioned, it's going to literally 100x plus whatever those core tokens are, which could be Pulse, PulseX, and Hex. Okay, yes, majority of Hex right now is staked, and yes, INC, there's not really a OA holding. That just means that we need more of Pulse and PulseX to do in terms of price action to cover for the supply, because it's 150% over collateralization. That's what you need. So we need 150% of 25 billion or whatever the supply number is right now. So that's roughly what, $35 billion worth of collateral. So it depends on the market cap of Pulse and PulseX effectively. So yeah, it is quite interesting with the hyperloop theory, and this is what I meant in a video and in a tweet that I talked about, which I urge everyone to follow me on my Twitter, is that actually if you want to hold a leverage of PDAI, it'll end up being the core for Pulse, PulseX, Hex, and INC. For this exact reason, this is why I'm telling you, if PDAI succeeds, it will become the unicorn of this DeFi season, this upcoming DeFi season, and at the same time, it will literally be a net positive. It's going to literally 100x the core bags. So it's a win-win for everyone. Everyone wins. It's going to attract Ethereum whales who are having their DAI token, who are having their WBTC, wrapped BTC, literally collecting dust. But we're going to incentivize them by reactivating the PulseX V1 farms, which, by the way, if you go to PulseX V1, you can see the ended one. You'll see that there used to be PWBC, EWBC, which already knows about this. He already spoke about, oh, hey, wouldn't it be cool to attract those Ethereum whales to come here and then to pair up the PRC20 with its ERC20 counterparts in a liquidity pool. Guys, Richard Hart is smarter than you think. You either think that he's extremely smart, and I feel like he's one of the best, if not the best, crypto founders that has ever existed. Okay, ever existed. Fair enough, maybe after the Bitcoin founder Satoshi Nakamoto, but you know what? Fair enough. He's a coward. He didn't really want to show himself. No, I'm joking. You know, it depends. It really depends what's the reason. Is he still alive as well? I don't really know, but I think there has been rumors using looking at how he was writing in the white paper, which, fun fact by the way, in the white paper didn't mention the halvening event, but in the white paper you can kind of tell that he was writing with, I think, double spaces, that you can tell that he's he's a lecturer who lives in England. So anyways, though, that's literally besides the point. You either think that Richard Hart is one of the smartest crypto founders, or he's absolutely clueless. Because PDAI has been going on one of the biggest narratives in PulseChain in the past year. It's been growing since 2023, towards the end of 2023. Guys, like the thickest liquidity, Atropa, yes, even though he's going absolutely mad, I don't know what's going on through him, he still did an ultimate benevolent action, which is by acquiring 3 billion PDAI and then pairing it with a Tropa and burning it forever. And that's actually, that pair has been the thickest pair in all of PulseChain, even thicker than the cores this whole time. You tell me it didn't grab his attention? You telling me a token that he literally talked about in tweets saying, hey, this token did 10,000x? You tell me he didn't know more about it? You tell me when he mentions, oh, he's in talks with people that are going to do a MakerDAO replacement. He doesn't know anything about this. When the all-time low of PDAI, if you look at the chart, is an exact 55555 to $1. I don't believe in coincidences, guys. I don't believe in coincidences. You know what I mean? Like, everything is like, part of me is like, oh my God, are we really having the same Richard Hart that we think we do in the previous cycle? No, he doesn't stream. This Richard Hart it feels like he's speaking through OA, sorry, not through OA, because OA is not Richard Hart. He's speaking through blockchain, right? Which we're going to bring it here, an example. Okay. An example that's going to blow your mind. And this is actually, I mean, unfortunately, I can't really go through it because he deleted that tweet. He actually deleted that tweet, which was what? It was a tweet where he said, hey, you can watch the extractor live here. Okay. And then he basically refers to the wallet, the 5996. This is the original wallet. And then he shows this. And this is at the same time that he goes, oh, sell PDAI ? Okay, and he shows, and it was around this snapshot right here, where he gets PDAI, like 3 million PDAI, and then he I think, oh sorry, it was way after this. He gets PDAI, and then he goes, oh, you can see the extractor dumping live here, right? He puts the link to this wallet. And then guess what he does? This is, by the way, this is an extremely, oh my God, extremely like tinfoil theory. After he asks sell PDAI question mark, he goes and buys Nope. And then what does he do after that? Which is something that this wallet, which is, imagine, yeah, you think that it's a malicious actor. After he buys Nope, look what he calls. He mints from the VAT 3,000 DAI, and then he wipes it, guys. He wipes it. This is a function within the MakerDAO contract, basically, that is effectively a burn, guys. It burns the PDAI. 3,000 exactly. What a small number. Like, why all of a sudden? You're a literal mint, like you're an exploiter. You're supposed to be doing as much as you can. Why buy Nope? Do you know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. Is he trying to speak through, like, to us through the blockchain? Sell PDAI question mark, buys Nope, and then he burns PDAI. And it gets even crazier, by the way. This is from the cash flow guy. Big shout out to him. Like, this is what he's coming up with. I'm not telling you, by the way, like, this makes it certain. It just makes it very exciting. That's for sure. It makes it for a good damn YouTube video. This is another clip here. This is from a live stream that happened today with Coexistence with him and your friend Sami. And then he mentioned here a wallet. I think this is one of the OA bags that are holding specific tokens. And then here he's asking Sami to read the in order the token holding. Okay, and it's kind of being manipulated by the amount of each token, right? Because of course it's the highest number in terms of dollar value to the lowest one, so it's in a descending order. So let's see what he says here to Sami.
I'm looking.
Okay. Read it out.
Oh my God, the video is unavailable. Hold on. Oh my God. Okay, hold on. Thank God. Big shout out to the farmers community. Big shout out to our friend right here. Join the farmers community, by the way, because he clipped it. And this is basically what it said. It was an OA bag that had a list of tokens, right? And then if you read them in a specific order, which is from the descending order, this is what it says. Let's see where it says. This is the clip, okay?
Prime Ape.
Look.
Richard Hart speaks to the blockchain, bro. Maker fork, bananas. Hex fork, die fork, oof. Prime Ape.
Yo, there you have it. Like, what? What is going on? And actually, in breaking news, big shout out to the people again sharing this. PDAI, potentially urgent. The PulseChain P-Maker wallet minting on chain, communicating on PulseChain, is linked to a massive bubble set of rumored Richard Hart wallets. So you can see the screenshots here. Like, what? This is literally being uncovered right now. So I'll have to spend more time on this. But you can see this further enhances the PDAI narrative for believers. I do not know how to check all of these as it's cumbersome. This is an Arkham bubble released and sent to me from a Katibu message from Katie on MakerDAO DS chief. Contract burning Maker means that he was casting a vote on Maker governance contracts. Rumored Richard Hart was testing the governance of Maker. And a little bit of backstory. This Maker minting transaction was highlighted by Cash Money on stream with me and Steven and represents blockchain speech communication. Now the exact message of the speech, we are figuring it out now. So again, there's a few more things to unfold here. Big shout out to Coexistence. I don't know why the video is unavailable. Is that the Matrix attacking us? So one of the So one of the last things I'm going to cover before this video ends, I feel like I've covered enough information for you guys, it's a little bit overwhelming, is that the Joy variable has been actually decreasing the past few days, which is pretty exciting. We got as close as 300 or I think even 270 million. Right now it is probably around the 350 million. I haven't really checked it. But yeah, I wanted to just quickly talk about, and this is with the help of Grok, explaining how and why would the Joy number fluctuate. It doesn't just go down, and it's not going at the same rate. It can literally fluctuate in terms of going up and down. So let's see here. What causes it to go down? Debt cancellation, healing. So if it's healing, which we're going to hear, it describes the maker system uses the heal function in the VAT contract to offset bad debt, referred to as sin, against the variable surplus Joy. When this happens, Joy decreases as it's used to cancel out the debt stabilizing the system. Surplus auctions, flap auctions. So again, not to be confused with flop. When the surplus Joy exceeds a certain threshold, the system triggers a flap auction to convert some of its surplus DAI into maker, which is then burnt to reduce the maker supply. This process reduces Joy as the surplus is spent. Okay, spent. Covering bad debt. If there's an unbacked DAI in the system, example from failed auctions or extreme market conditions, Joy is used to absorb this loss. This directly lowers the surplus and it's applied to maintain the DAI's peg to $1. Now, what are the causes of Joy going up? System surplus from stability fees. When users borrow DAI by locking in collateral in maker vaults, they pay a stability fee, essentially an interest rate in maker or DAI. After covering operational costs and risks, any excess revenue increases the system's surplus, adding to Joy. And then here, successful debt auctions. If a vault becomes under collateralized, example due to a drop of the collateral's value, the system liquidates it through debt auction. If the auction raises more DAI than needed to cover the outstanding debt, the excess is added to the surplus. That makes sense. And then penalty fees from liquidations. When vaults are liquidated, a liquidation penalty is often applied. This additional revenue paid in DAI contributes to the surplus of and boosts Joy. So all of this makes sense. So there is that, you know, depending on the healing that's being happened. So in general, guys, I'm still very, very bullish. I'm just waiting on that Joy number to go to 0, and then we could see where we are. And once the flop auction begins, there's 3 possibilities that could happen. The 5996 gets the P maker, or the PulseX gets the P maker, or haters get the P maker. And right now, so far, we're going to assume the 5996 is actually a benevolent actor, or could be even a team. So in the next picture here that shows it in more detail, flop auction begins. Now if it goes to the 5996, it goes through resetting the oracles, and then here the balancer flash loans, and then it goes to peg mode. And then here, once it goes to the PulseX LP, gets P maker, it still goes through here, which is resetting their oracles, and then through that, and then it goes to peg. Now, the worst case scenario is going down here where haters get the P maker, and then they actually activate the emergency stability module, I believe that's what it's called, where effectively, I think it just, halts the whole system. Now, I'm not sure what it means in terms of like the price tag, if it's just going to be like a normal ERC20 at this point. Yeah, the ESM is basically game over, to keep it quite simple. But guys, listen, I'm going to end the video there. You guys are absolutely amazing. I love PulseChain. This is very exciting, but at the same time, I understand it is very fearful. And, I hope we see better days, and I really do believe so, because Ethereum, I think we're going to see a nice reversal. I still believe in Ethereum, because you have to believe in Ethereum. If you believe in PulseChain, you have to believe in Ethereum by default. Remember, we're not a hedge of Ethereum, we are a leverage of it. So there's that. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you want to support my channel, I have a donation address link in the description. You can literally become a YouTube member. You have access to my exclusive members videos, and also my crypto OPSEX. So if you want to cover yourself from the different attack vectors. If you want to take crypto more seriously, especially if you have anything over $1,000 of a portfolio, definitely understand what's the difference between, you know, cold wallet to hot wallet, you know, the crypto practices, being aware of signature scams as well, and how to read solidity contracts, how to identify, you know, rug pulls and similar things like, okay, how can I know if a LP pool is burnt? What does burnt even mean? What's the difference between a private key or a seed phrase, like a 12-word seed phrase? What's a 13-word seed phrase, or 24 or a 25-word seed phrase, protecting yourself from future vulnerabilities like quantum computing? A bunch of things I actually covered in practical sessions, how you can also encrypt your files using the latest industry standard encryption algorithm, AES-256-bit. So yeah, you can check the course. You don't even need to hear it from me. You can see that from the review here. So thank you very much. It's been in depth, straight to the point, and a good mix of theory and practical. I recommend the course if you're serious about keeping your crypto safe. Guys, give this video a like, comment down below what you think. It helps boost this video in the YouTube algorithm. Share this video with the crypto bros. I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.